What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is Aaron with RC Drift Network, and today we're going to be talking about Overdose RC. We're going to take a look at who they are, why they cost so much, and why I personally still choose to drive an Overdose golem chassis. Let's jump into it. So, Overdose RC. They've been in the hobby for a long time. When you look at Ito-san on his Instagram, he's the CEO, owner, whatever you want to call him, of Overdose. He's been on Instagram posting RC drift stuff since 2013. So, I just started in the hobby a few years ago. They were already, considered the premier, I'd say one of the top of the line brands when I got started. And I was immediately drawn to their branding and how nice their cars looked, how nice their parts looked. The first thing that I ever saw from Overdose was actually a part that I still run. I run on all of my chassis. I'll always run, I think, and I get a lot of comments on it. It's these front posts. It's the latch system. They call it the Overdose Real Catch body mount system. And it's a spring-assisted latch system for the front, and it's the most realistic. They look like hood pins once you put them on the car. You do have to drill holes, but that's pretty common for RC to have a hole in the body, and these look so much like real hood pins that I never mind doing it. I do it on all my shells. I actually have my Lunatic shell over here that I have the other side of the posts right there. So once it's all down, you snap it on and it's not coming off. There is no bumping your body off. The shell is secure and it looks super good. It looks realistic. So I run those on all of my chassis. Overdose Real Catch system, very nice. So, those things really caught my eye right out of the gate. I was like, man, that is really cool. Once I learned a little bit more about the company, everything, I was like, I really like this. I like that they are a one-to-one drift team. What they build makes sense in the real world. And the quality of the parts is just top notch. Like everything, all of the anodizing, all of the color, it's so consistent. It's so smooth. And it looks great. I've seen other companies with red anodizing that's not really red, chips off, flakes off really easily. I've been driving this car consistently pretty much every day for 2.5 years, building it bit by bit, and I love it. It's a car, for those of us in the car world, it reminds me of when I have a super nice one-to-one car. You walk away from it and you turn back and you look at it. That's the Overdose golem. Every time I set it down on the table, every time I see it sitting there, I have my display set up over here because I like to show it off for myself. I like to sit here and just look at it. So, those are some of the things that drew me to it. Now, the availability of parts, that's another thing. With Overdose, they make a limited number of each item. So once the retail stores get them, they do their pre-orders, everybody gets their parts. Once it's sold out, you're pretty much relying on your ability to find things, you know, through the resellers. And with Overdose, I would say it's been the one RC brand, it's the one, you know, chassis that I haven't seen it completely drop its value. Like when I bought my Overdose Golem, it was actually going through a period where people were not as hype about it. And it was, you know, people were like, it's really hard to tune, you have to know what you're doing. And I kind of just was like, I'm up for the challenge. And then I got a great opportunity. One of my friends was like, hey, I've got one. If you want to buy it from me, I'll even let you make payments on it. So I didn't come out of pocket thousands of dollars for this car right out of the gate. I made payments on it on an RC car, as crazy as that is. I really wanted it, and I had a buddy that would let me do that. So I was able to spread out the cost of buying the chassis, buying all the parts. And if you're going to get into that, unless you just have lots of money to spend on it, that's what I would recommend. Enjoy the process, take your time, build things up, and just enjoy it. You don't have to be full option to enjoy this car. I know you mainly see them online and in communities full optioned, but I do know of a lot of people who run them with, you know, just a few upgrades and love how they drive. So it's definitely a great chassis. It's definitely a tuner's chassis. A lot of the parts that they come out with Overdose are very purpose driven. There's a specific reason for each thing. So when they come out with a new version, it's normally because they've found new clearances, or they've found new adjustments. They've added ways that you can adjust, or smaller increments you can adjust by. So Overdose allows you to do a ton of very, very specific finite tuning. So a lot of people who are really deep into this hobby, that's what they're looking for. They want to be able to tune to the most minute, you know, specs. They want to be to the most precise that they can. And that's what most of us that have experienced Overdose feel, is that it's a constant, it's constantly getting better. There's constant research and development happening to improve the chassis and improve the platform. So they get a lot of support from us in that aspect, and we love, you know, giving our feedback to, you know, as to what works and what hasn't worked. So that's the RC Drift community. People are never shy to tell each other what they think, and the Golem definitely is no different there. So it's a great chassis. I really enjoy it, and really all of those reasons are part of why I choose to support the brand. So Overdose has done a great job of supporting their community. I feel like I'm, you know, friends with Ito. When he comes into town, he, you know, he's the type of guy that he puts his arm around you, he hugs you, he's like, what's up, you know, and he's very, you know, engaging, he's very charismatic, and he's done a good job of making his customers feel also like friends. So, you know, most of us who have spent the kind of money that we spent, we realize how egregious, we realize how crazy it is. But it's also more than just the RC car itself. It does, you know, come down to the tunability, the quality of the parts, the availability, you know, being able to say, I have something that not everybody has or not everybody can get. That plays into it. No, I don't think that that's gatekeeping. Anybody has the availability, or I'm sorry, the ability to go out and get this if you work hard enough, or if you want to pay for it. If you don't want to pay for it and you think that it's crazy, that's okay too. But hating on it just because you think it's too expensive is, in my opinion, crazy, just hater behavior. So save it. If you don't like it, don't buy one. Those of us that have experienced the Overdose life, you know, you'll hear us say OD life. Many of us are very partial to it, addicted to it. I don't know what you would call it, but it's also important for Overdose guys to remember that it's not the end-all be-all. There is other chassis out there, and you know, don't just push people out of the hobby because they can't go out and buy a Golem, or, you know, afford Overdose parts right out of the gate. So I always tell people, I'm like, this is something that if you want to do a lot of tuning, you want to do a lot of tweaking, and you know that you're going to be heavily into this hobby. A lot of people build these just as, you know, showcase cars, just to have something that looks nice. I think it's probably the nicest looking RC drift chassis on the market. Shibata GRK has some nice stuff. But personally, I just love the Overdose, you know, the colors, they're so deep, so vivid. I find that in a sea of cars, the Overdose cars are the ones that catch my eye. So that's why I support Overdose. It's what I really like about the brand and the chassis. It's not for everybody, but you know, if you are looking to get one, I would say make sure you find yourself a Overdose community, find out what parts are relevant, what parts are needed. They're definitely older, you know, version 1 parts that people have started moving and, you know, that you might not need. So, yeah, definitely overall, it's a great chassis. It's not, you don't have to spend Overdose money to have fun in the RC drift community. But, you know, sometimes people like to flex and they want to have something that is super nice and not everybody can have. And if that's what you're looking for, Overdose is your chassis. So I appreciate you guys tuning in with us. My name again is Aaron with RC Drift Network, and I hope you stay sideways.